you need to really unprogram. So we know one person, they're on Ozempic, and he's like, I don't even want to drink water sometimes. I was like, oh, that's huge if you're not just wanting to take in basic. No one sits down and goes over your psychology of like, well, hey, why you're overeating? Let's work on some tactics with that. Now, people might have done that, but the mass majority of everybody in the world is not doing that. So when you see celebrities that have access to dietitians, to private chefs and everything, and then they're taking this drug, I think that's the selling point for a lot of people now. Like, hey, I can get thin quick.
Welcome back to We Time Convo. I'm your host, Liza, and today I'm joined by my guest co-host, Marita.
Hello.
And Don Marie.
Hi.
Today we're diving into Planet Money's episode, Buy Discount Ozempic. Click here now. Because apparently you can get your blood sugar down and your gene size down if you know the right back alley pharmacy. Let's talk money, meds, and maybe a little mess. We're back, everybody. Hi, Marita.
Hello.
Hi, Don Marie.
Hello.
So today we are going to talk about Ozempic. Is that the commercial?
That is a commercial.
Am I allowed to sing it? Is it like a copyright thing? I don't know.
Maybe.
So
I'm not selling it.
So we are talking about another podcast episode from Planet Money. And the name of the episode is Buy Discount Ozempic Here Now. Click this link. So this was a very interesting listen for me. Did you guys all get to listen to the episode?
I did not get to listen to it, but I like to be a little naive about hearing it and seeing what your guys' take is.
So it was a 30, almost 40-minute episode. Very interesting. It just talks about basically the weight loss drugs. Ozempic is one of the big ones.
And Mounjaro.
Yeah. There's Mounjaro, Zepbound, and Wegovy.
Wegovy, yeah.
But I didn't know originally Ozempic was prescribed to diabetics.
Yes.
I didn't know it was a diabetic. I just thought it was just simply a weight loss drug.
Oh yeah. It was initially like Viagra was
both of those.
Initially for
both of those. The first is to help diabetics, but they noticed one of the side effects was weight loss.
And how do you lose weight from it? Is it just suppress your hunger?
It's suppress, at least according to, I've never taken it, so I don't know, but I think it's suppresses the hunger, the cravings and stuff like that. So people I know who have diabetes, there's like that one is a huge weight loss gain, but like some people that I know that are just started taking it, they're like, oh yeah. And I noticed them like, oh, it looks like you're losing weight. Yeah, I've been taking this diabetic, and they're also regulating their sugar intake. So it could be a little bit of both. Yeah. But those two are,
And it's a drug that you inject.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. So they talk about, I guess, the rise of these drugs, and the episode first starts off with this. I guess he was a chemistry teacher.
Yeah.
His name is Phil. So he, was overweight. So his doctor prescribes Ozempic.
He's overweight and he has other addictions.
Yes.
Alcohol, food.
Yes.
Some other things.
Prescription pills. Opioids. So he says once he actually started taking Ozempic, it actually changed his life because it took away these cravings, and it was just a miracle drug for him.
Yeah.
And his insurance covered it, and it was $25 a month for him to have this.
That's not a bad for all prescription medications that would have been prescribed to him.
But his insurance changed. So when he went to go refill it, they're like, well, you have to pay out of pocket. So now it's $1,000 a month.
As we do in this country.
Yeah. And being a teacher, he can't afford $1,000 a month. So they talk about just how the demand for it just became super high, and it was super hard to get. So that's how all these generic Ozempic brands came out.
Right. And they go into the detail about how U.S. FDA works on when you invent a new drug. The company that invents a new drug basically gets 2 years monopoly on their drug, so that they're the only ones that can produce it. They can set their own price, and so that's why when it ran out, he was $1,000 is what the going rate was. But this drug became so popular that the demand was more than they could produce. Yeah. And so there's a loophole that drug compound companies can do the same, copy their exact formula And
how is this legal that they can copy it though?
I think it's because they said something like, if you cannot meet the demand, it's like that in case of an emergency, break glass kind of thing. Well, you guys can't meet the demand, and there's this demand for that. So you can't be the only, now other people need to be able to produce this drug. So it's supposed to help them. And so, but I think the Ozempic people had to say, okay, we're fine with that because we can't meet the demand. And so that Planet Money podcast was talking about how they're probably regretting it now because now there's so many copies.
Saturated.
And then there's so many and there was all these extra things. I didn't quite understand all the politics about like customizing it. I don't know if you heard all the way through that. They're customizing it. But basically the copycat drugs came out sooner because of the such high demand.
Yeah. Very, very interesting. Just what is your take on Ozempic, Don Marie? Being a health person.
Yeah. Well, for the diabetic part, I could totally understand somebody wanting instant relief because your body is stressing and thinking, if you've been around anybody who's a true diabetic, if they're not getting their sugar or something's low, it screws up their whole day. Like you're laying down or trying to manage that. If it's something for weight loss too, as we were kind of discussing earlier, if you're severely overweight, your body chemistry has changed. Your brain now, what it thinks about food isn't just for nourishment. It's like, I have to have this. You're basically turned into a drug addict for food because you might know better, might think better, but you're just keep on taking. Like I was saying earlier, I used to watch The Biggest Loser, and they were talking about exercise and diet. And then a new documentary just came out talking about how a lot of the contestants on that show either said, hey, this saved my life. And a lot of them were like, I gained all the weight back. Well, they had great trainers, they had the food, but their brain was still hardwired to want to eat and consume and think that was okay. Just like an alcoholic, it takes years. It's just not, alcoholics go to rehab maybe multiple times to unprogram everything. You need to really unprogram. So we know one person at work, they're on Ozempic, and he's like, I don't even want to drink water sometimes. He's acknowledging that. I was like, oh, that's huge if you're not just wanting to take in basic. No one sits down and goes over your psychology of like, well, hey, why you're overeating? Let's work on some tactics with that. Now, people might have done that, but the mass majority of everybody in the world is not doing that. So when you see celebrities that have access to dietitians, to private chefs and everything, and then they're taking this drug, I think that's the selling point for a lot of people now. Like, hey, I can get thin quick and maybe maintain this, but that price tag of $1,000 is going to be quite scary. We don't know how that works for the average slightly overweight person to the really obese person to the diabetic, because there might be liver damage that's going on, and that's a lot of drugs anyways, right? There's always diarrhea.
Yeah.
But
diarrhea.
What's your mental health and well-being? Like with anything that you do to your body that's foreign, we're still learning how long, like implants of any kind, you're supposed to get those changed out every 10 years. Now I'm like, okay, so you paid $5,000 just to say for a breast augmentation, you're going to have to reinvest that again and again. So your lifestyle changes. They need to do more studies about how it's going to affect long-term, but we don't know right now for that. Just a short-term fun fix and everything. So I would say, hey, if you really are 600 pounds, this is your only option, have at it. Everybody's got a personal choice and they get to do it and stuff. It's just be mindful, be aware, and note take like what you're.
So do you have to take Ozempic forever? Once you take it, that's it?
That's what that's my understanding is that, and that's what worries me about that. So like, my husband's like joking, I'm waiting for it to become cheaper and then I'm going to do that. I'm like, oh, I don't really think that's a good idea. Me personally, because I've had so many other health issues, right? So I'm a cancer survivor. And so, and I'm allergic to certain medications. I'm like, I don't need anything. I don't need to put anything else in my body that I don't have to. So I mean, that's why I have to do other stuff, right? Yeah. But I just like worry that like we don't have enough. It's so new. Like what is it doing to our liver? What is it doing to some of our other organs that are functioning to help keep us safe from other things? Like it might be doing, serious damage to our kidneys. You never know.
Yeah.
So is the thing about Ozempic, like why it's so popular, is it, do you just lose weight pretty quickly?
Rapidly.
Yeah, there's another person at school that's on some weight loss. I don't know if you've noticed that, like last year I noticed this person. I'm like, wow, you look like you've been losing a lot of weight. And she was like, yeah, I've been on that, the I don't know which one, but she was on the weight loss drug.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well,
And why not just, okay, I thought that you take it and then you lose the weight that you want and then you just get off of it
Yeah.
and then you just work on it yourself, keep exercising and all that.
No.
That's not the case.
No. Like everything with the human body, it's now you've reprogrammed your brain and body and it's going to need it. You've made a new addiction for yourself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if it was $25, I feel like everybody would be doing it.
So good old Phil, at the end of the episode, he did his research. He went on Reddit because Reddit is so reliable that you can actually purchase the ingredients that they make to make Ozempic in China.
So that's why it's important to note that he was a chemistry teacher.
Yeah.
So he kind of had
a
better
ignorant-
knowledge than, like, let's just say the guy down the street. Yeah.
Yeah. And he watched, YouTube videos on how
It's like
to
a Walter
to make
White
it.
for Ozempic.
Yes. But he pays $50 a month as opposed to $1,000 a month. And, it is risky because, of course, you don't know what's in it. You don't know if it's the real deal, but he's taking that risk because he needs it. He needs this drug.
So it's a new drug that, like, he's a new drug he's addicted to, but it's improved his life for the better.
Yeah.
Is his rationale.
Yeah. And I mean, full disclosure, this is not medical advice. So take this with a grain of salt. We're not saying this is what you have to do, but I guess this episode is just very interesting and it makes me think about pharmaceutical and how much money they're making and what they do to get this money and what they're selling.
And I think that's why Planet Money did the episode. I've listened to that podcast before, is that we need to rethink how the drug program in our country, how drugs are sold, how much they cost, prescription drug programs in America, like compared to Canada, right? Canada has a different program. And I don't understand all the politics of why people are fighting, making the prescription drugs more affordable for the average person. I mean, I think we all know the reason why. Money is the biggest driving force behind all these decisions. And so it's unfortunate because we're going to try to improve our country, but yet we keep making decisions that hinder our ability to progress forward. And prescription drugs has been an issue for a long time. That's what the Obamacare was supposed to do, right? It's supposed to healthcare for all, lower the cost of prescription drugs. But then those drug companies, based on what I've seen on the news, seem like they just care about their bottom line,
which is money.
Mm-hmm.
So there's actually a middle ground. Remember, there's small clinics where they compound. So not because they want to get over the hurdle because there's no more of that protection of the loophole because the big companies already can meet the demand.
Yeah. See, I think that's what I didn't fully understand.
Yeah.
Was the middle people.
Yeah. So that is the 300, 400.
They were talking,
Yeah.
but they can't. But because this is what I understood from that episode, is because the Ozempic and Mounjaro, now they can meet their demand. The smaller companies cannot make that exact formula. And so they were talking about now they have to make it customized so then they can still get away with using it. And that was the other health concern, is what are they putting in there to customize? It might be things your body doesn't need, but even though they're saying it's it's this drug catered to people who need more iron. I'm just making that up.
Yeah.
But
or you can sniff it or inhale it rather than inject it, right? They're making customized versions of that. Got it.
It's a big industry because I don't know about you, but my Instagram is full of people, all these, I tried this weight loss thing, there was the something in your coffee weight loss thing. And then there's salty water. Yeah. And I'm what the heck is, it doesn't make sense to me why consuming salt's going to make me lose weight faster. And it doesn't make any sense why drinking mushroom coffee is going to make me lose weight faster. People would have done that centuries ago if that's what it took.
Yeah. So the whole thing about just the food part, it would be nice if we also regulated what foods are on our shelves in the grocery stores and the pesticides and the red dye number 6 and all that stuff. That part also is very astounding us as a country, not putting the regulations in and just for the almighty dollar of mass producing a lot of our students. You can see too, hey, everything's coming out of a package. That wasn't the case a long time ago. Everything was fresh, homemade. We need to get back to those roots of doing that. That will decrease the amount of diabetes and everything else that's going on in the country. And obesity it is a mind over matter thing, but there are other countries throughout the world that this isn't like once you become obese, like there's people like it's a bigger industry than we're led on to believe. Like think about the clothing, the seats, the chairs, we're adapting to people being obese. And so that's a crazy thing to think about too.
So this is, I'm not big on conspiracy theories, but to me, the thing that seemed like every day is more and more evident that they're all colluding, because healthy food in the grocery store is more expensive than the processed foods that are on the shelves or going to McDonald's and Taco Bell. Like as much as we complain about how like our eating out bill is, like I can eat cheaply on junk food than I can on one, because every time I go to the store and I'm like, well, because again, like I said, I'm trying to make small changes. Buying vegetables all the time raises my grocery bill by about $100.
And if it's organic, it's even more.
Yes. So it's like $100 more. Like I went to the grocery store and I'm like, I'm just buying like a couple bag salads. And I'm like, how is this over $100 for a dairy item, a couple of proteins, and then like salad and maybe some bread? I'm like, I had no processed foods on that thing.
Yeah.
And it was like over $100. And it's not recently. This is like been, it's been the case for about the last 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
Is that the healthier choices, the whole foods, actual whole foods, not the grocery store, but the vegetables and the fruit, those are things that are getting more and more expensive to purchase. Eggs are ridiculous. Eggs are a healthy protein. And I know that we had this epidemic among the chickens, but at the same time, eggs were still pretty expensive to begin with the first time around. So.
Yeah. No, very much so. Everybody, back to maybe grassroots. We need to start growing and teaching kids how to grow our own food, because there's a lot that could be going on. And that, like you're saying, the economic impact of all of that. And like one of our other episodes talking about microplastics and all our foods wrapped in plastic. How did that become a thing that we're okay with that? The rest of the world like goes out and grabs a couple items and brings it home and cooks it. And we're like, hey, we want this to have a long shelf life. We want this to have a long shelf life. But it's not nutrient dense food that we're getting to do the long shelf life.
And there's lots of mixed messages in the media about what so like the label, like people can get away saying healthy something. Yeah. It's not necessarily healthy. Or they can say, it's like fortified with something, but you don't need those fortifications in that food. It's basically we're adding things to our foods that our body can't process. And so then when our body breaks it down and says, I don't know what to do with this. So then they store it as fat because they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah. It would be interesting to see what happens to the celebrity wave of people who are on the drugs. Because once that happens, and that's like free press pretty much, right? Then what's going to be the trickle down effect? Because then they're going to be on another drug to combat everything else that's going on them. So it's just going to be a cycle.
Yeah. There's going to be something new, right?
Yeah.
It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, the whole thing, right? Healthy eating, exercise, diet, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it's conspiracy theory, but like, when you're on a fixed income, you're going to just buy what you can afford. And then what happens? If we eat all these foods that are harmful to us, now we have to go to the doctor and get these medications that we probably wouldn't have needed if we had healthier options that we could afford.
Yeah,
exactly. And they come out and say, processed foods, it could lead to cancer, blah, 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 blah. And it's going to force people to want to buy healthier foods that they can't afford. And so it's a cycle, right?
Oh yeah. The ease and convenience of food that we've made it to. Think about like we were hunter gatherers. You didn't have food readily on hand. We're very lucky. You can go anywhere in walking distance. There's food constantly all the time. That wasn't the case for quite a bit. And even my grandparents growing up, my grandfather went home and had lunch during school and then went back to school because his mom made a better lunch. Then I was like, how? But he was walking. He wasn't riding an e-bike. He wasn't getting slept everywhere. Like a lot
of He didn't take an Uber?
No, he didn't take an Uber. It was like horse and bike. No, joking. But yeah, our daily calorie output too is just decreased. So it'd be very interesting to see if there's anything to bone density that's going to go on with these drugs, and if there's anything to the major organs like the kidneys and liver, besides the heart. Like if the liver goes down, you're kind of out of luck right there, and your kidney failures.
Well, and you're changing, right? You said it's retraining your brain.
Right.
So what does that change to your brain chemistry do to your brain as it ages?
Yeah.
How is that? I'd be interested. Is that going to affect cases of dementia? You know what I mean? There's like any drug that you do to alter your brain worries me.
Yeah.
Well, according to the internet, Ozempic, very rare risk, but it could lead to serious risks like pancreatitis or thyroid tumors.
Yeah.
So just putting that out there. I mean, even though you're dropping the weight, you are ruining or damaging very important parts of your body. So you got to think about stuff like that. And not to mention, you got to take this shot once a week, every week for the rest of your life. I think it's once a week.
I don't know.
It'd be hard if it was in your system, I think, for once a month. That'd be a pretty strong dose.
Yeah.
And that'd be interesting to see if you take it, do you initially not eat and then you notice like you get hunger pains or something again. It's very interesting to think too, joint wise, everything. Like you might get a lot of relief initially, but yeah, how do you keep that up for everything? And then a lot of people, like people who did gastric bypass, you couldn't eat certain foods and stuff for a while. And then they gained it all back because they still had the brain chemistry that said, hey, I want this. It didn't cure any of that. Like people who are very addicted to bad relationships, they got hooked on a cycle. Our brain loves routine, but you can stop one thing, but it's still spinning the other way. So it'll be interesting. I hope it doesn't cause that much damage to anybody, because I think a lot of people who are doing it just have a strong need to feel better about themselves, right? That would be the thing. But yeah, you really got to change your mindset, and that brain chemistry is key.
And it's not easy. I mean, if you're trying to get your insurance to pay for it, I hear it's really, really hard to get. Like you have to have a really, really valid reason. Like
I think it's going to be like medical marijuana card. Like there's a quote unquote valid reason, and then there's just going to be a lot of people sliding.
Well, so I have
find the doctor that just hands it out.
I have Kaiser, and the last time I saw my doctor, we were talking about all my health issues, and I like literally broke down in the doctor's office because I'm like really. I mean, my weight has been bothering me, so that's part of my mental health issue. But she was talking about like, well, you can get on the wait list for the weight loss drug, but you have to demonstrate that you've cut your caloric intake by 500 calories a day. Doesn't matter how many it is, 500 calories a day. I'm like, how am I supposed to prove to you that? But I don't know. It was weird. But I'm like, I'm not interested in getting on the weight loss drug. I feel like I want to do the work so that I can just like, that's just for me. I want to do the work that I need to do it right, so that I don't have to worry when I'm 70 that like, oh, you took that drug and now you have pancreatic cancer or liver damage or anything else, because I've already had health issues before.
Yeah.
So
we'll work on all of this.
I know.
Get your feet going.
Get my feet fit. And that's so I used to think just lose the weight and it's fine. But now I think it's like I got to strengthen my feet so that I'm more out there more often, which is why I volunteered to help with, I'm still getting paid, by the way. I volunteered to help with field hockey coaching, because I'm like, that gets me out there. I'm active. And it was so cute. My students the other day, I made them do a fake quiz to test the lockdown browser. And I asked them questions and it says, what's my favorite sport? And my favorite sport, by the way, is basketball.
Yes, we know that.
Oh, Valkyrie are in the playoffs. Woohoo! I'm super excited. And they're playing at the SAP Center, but I'm sure the tickets are way more than I can afford. Anyways, one kid goes, I thought it was hockey because I saw you playing hockey. I'm like, I wasn't actually playing. I was helping, but I was hitting the ball to the goalies and stuff like that. But
sweat your
So, but I'm happy, right? Yeah. It's like I enjoy it. I'm out there being active. I get to see my kid because he's out there for cross country practice. It's like, to me, it's like mental health wise, doing that, even though I get home and I'm super exhausted and I'm so behind on grading. Yeah. I'm happier. I'm happier because I'm out interacting with kids. I'm not just going home on the couch doing this.
And the kids like to see that you're doing stuff. Like I do my routines sometimes with the kids, or most of the time. And they do brag to the other teachers that I'm the one doing it. Like everybody else is barking out commands. But I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to. Like I'm doing this 3-4 times a day with you and everything. So they appreciate it, and they appreciate seeing that. But that's what I mean. Like we need to get back to encouraging not the drinking and overeating and the comfort foods. Like COVID really set everybody into the comfort food and drinking phase. And now there's a big wave of mocktails and everything because of that. We need to really make it popular to have good quality food and not high sugar as a stress relief or alcohol as a stress relief. It was made to be kind of social, but you're walking and moving around and cooking together and stuff. So we need to bring that back.
I don't have to worry about that. Every time I have alcohol, like I don't feel good anymore. It's like I like either have heartburn or I get a headache. And so it's like more than 2 drinks is like, no, like the one we had our little happy hour at Katie Bloom's the other day, like I had a beer, I drank that beer and then I was like, okay, I'll have another one. I'm like, nope, I didn't need the other one. It was like, I barely drank the other one. And then I went home, I'm like, so it's my addiction is food and not alcohol.
Yeah.
So.
No, and that's a lot of people who stop drinking, they turn to food because it's not ethyl alcohol, but your body releases it. It's now you need that addiction high again. And that's where the sugary foods come in for a lot of people. We have a colleague who's
salty food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happens. So that's why other things were invented. Smoking's the last drug that a lot of rehab places will let you do because you're giving up one addiction for another addiction. So you're not really.
I did used to be a smoker. So maybe I'll just I'm going although alcohol was never my thing. It's smoking and then eating.
Well, Liza wants to learn how to smoke a pipe.
Why?
I think it's so classy.
It's not.
Well, we need outfits.
Yeah.
Are we going to get Victorian outfits?
Well, the drinking, I agree with. I actually, so I went back to school as an employee and as a student, but now I used to drink occasionally on the weeknights because, why the fuck not? But now I'm I can't because I have to stay up and study and I can't be on that alcohol. So, and I do notice that I feel a lot better. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, all of us need, and it would be nice if we had parents or a mom, housewife or whatever to keep us in check and stop doing that. Do something else. It'd be nice if someone's bringing you a cup of tea instead and all of that. But yeah, everybody has to go through growing pains and learning lessons about that. I feel for sure and take a stock and acknowledgement of whatever's going on about that. Because I don't think it's a one cure all for everybody at all by any means. Food wise, Ozempic and food, everybody's got a different amount of protein they need to take in, or hey, you like salty food? Great. You just got to figure out your balance and water intake.
So I have discovered that I do because most of us, except for you, Don Marie, we're Asian. So we eat white rice, right?
She's Asian by heart.
Asian.
Yeah.
You're what?
I'm honorary Asian.
Yeah. Honorary, yes, you're honorary Asian. But I grew up eating rice all the time, and then rice is not good for you, right? Because it's a lot of extra carbs you don't need. So I discovered the riced cauliflower, broccoli, and carrot. And I love it. So I made teriyaki chicken and I ate that. So I need to do that more often.
Yeah. Oh, I think vegetable uptake and fiber uptake for everybody across the board. We have a lot less grumpier kids if it was more fiber uptake for everybody.
So what I do with my white rice, because I can't let go of white rice you.
I can't totally let go either.
So I in my rice cooker, I put a little bit of white rice, but I also put quinoa and lentils in it. But it also gives me more protein and more fiber. But it doesn't matter because I do cauliflower rice. As long as you drown it in freaking sauce and stuff like that, it tastes
just not high sodium sauce.
Yeah. Do you guys ever cook it in bone broth or chicken broth or vegetable?
I just steam it. I buy the already riced one and you just stick it in the oven and steam it.
Oh, okay.
And then I made my own teriyaki sauce, which was better than what you'd buy bottled. And so I had that for lunch one day and I'm like, this is the best lunch ever. Or when I did give into my craving fast food, there's that chicken food truck that's off of Cougar, JoJo's Hot Chicken.
Oh, okay.
They get, and I'm learning that when you go out to eat, they give you way too much food. So that's one of the things, my little small changes. I only eat half of what I get and then I save the rest. So then I took the JoJo's Hot Chicken fried chicken breast because I already ate all the fries the night before.
Because you can't, they're not good as leftovers.
And I put it on top of the rice cauliflower broccoli. That was a delicious lunch too. I had it for lunch the next day. It was good.
Yeah.
So
if you just swap out it's once in a blue moon, but increase that protein and fiber, whatever it can be, have at it and just swap out the sugary drinks. I'm not a big soda drinker and that's been my only saving grace.
I'm a Coke Zero.
I'm a
addict.
Diet Coke drinker.
Yeah, a couple other guys in my department.
But I don't eat more because I drink Diet Coke. I just like Diet Coke. Like I'll drink more Diet Coke than I'll eat more. So
Okay.
So I'll have that like aspartame, whatever the thing is, kidney failure when I'm older. But I'm happy with that because everything.
Not the Ozempic.
Not the Ozempic one. Yeah.
The thyroid tumor thing.
All right, sorry, Diet Coke, don't sue me.
Yeah. Just soda in general and the Gatorades now, like that chemistry has changed too for them. And like one kid's like, oh, because they saw someone left Gatorade jugs out on the top field and some kid's like, can I get that? I was like, ew, no. By all means, been in the trainer's room. Someone has not cleaned out some of the water jugs that have Gatorade on the outside and there's mold in there. So that's but Gatorade's definitely changed their formula and it's not what it originally was.
And the cross-country coach, the head cross-country coach, she tells all her runners, absolutely not. Gatorade's your last option. Do not. She hates her kids to be drinking that. She's like, nope. Because it's got too many extra stuff in it.
It's got the red dye. It has more dyes in it. She just mass produce it like anything.
So just water. Just drink water.
Yeah, they do. Little salt, or you can blend cucumber, and you can do a lot of things with water, but it has to be.
She just says that when they get back from a long run and they're thirsty, she's like, you take slow sips. You can just drink regular water, just slow sips. That's a better way of hydrating yourself than chugging it. Sorry.
Because everybody's been taught, like, just do that. I would think the water quality too is another factor that can be later discussed. But yeah, the quality of water really dictates a lot of your health and everything. Hence what's happened across the world with, poor water. Discussing water, Detroit.
All right. So big takeaways from this morning. Increase your foot strength.
Yes.
Small walks. And then with this weight loss drug, you just got to be...
If it works for you.
You got to be mindful of the other damages that it's causing and then the cost. And if this is something that you want to take for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Because I feel like that long-term health for you, it's going to be very, very important. Yeah. So if you're taking care of your toesies, then you're going to feel happier. And then you're going to want to have more hippity-dippity with your husband.
Hippity-dippity.
What is that, Don Marie?
We all know what that is, Liza. Come on. You don't need to
But when everybody feels good about themselves, they would want to...
It's a good mental.
Yes,
then it's physical, mental.
I'm just saying because Marita's married.
Yeah. Physical, mental. It's just good all around.
Yeah.
I'm sure my husband would be happy for more hippity-dippity.
Yeah. There you go.
Tell
him to rub those feet.
All right. So if you guys want to listen to the Planet Money episode, it's very interesting. It dives deeper into like the politics and everything. It's a good episode. Planet Money, buy discount Ozempic here now. Click this link. It's a very good episode. And thank you, Don Marie and Marita.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.